Hi, welcome back to Leadership Training Camp. In this lesson, I want to talk to you about the 3 T's. Now, if you've seen my workshops or you've read some of my books or articles, you may know what I'm talking about. But even if you do, it doesn't necessarily mean you're practicing it. So this will help give you a nudge in the right direction. Let me get to the 3 T's in a moment. Let me tell you what gets us there. As a leader, it's essential that we face reality about the people on our team. And sometimes we're so close to mediocrity, we become desensitized to it. And we no longer feel the pain because we've been around it so long. And we can lose our objectivity. There's a technique called zero-based thinking, which basically says if I'm starting again from zero, would I do it this way? And first, let me give you the question to ask yourself, and then I'll give you the 3 T's. I think you'll like how this comes together. The question is, knowing what I now know about this person, and just make a list of everybody on your team and go through them one at a time. And do this, fairly often. Knowing what I now know about this person, let's call him Fred. Knowing what I now know about Fred, if he applied for the job today, would I hire him? That's a really face reality, open your eyes type of question, because when you say, knowing what I now know about him, that covers a lot of ground. Knowing what I now know about his attitude, his work ethic, okay, his character choices, his discipline, is he coachable, his skill level, does he have talent, all this. Knowing all this about him, if he applied for the job today, would I hire him? And if the answer is yes, then that's terrific. That's what you want. Go on to the next name. But if you come up with a negative answer, if the answer is like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? If I had to do this all over again, there's no way I would go through this, all right? Then that's a red flag, obviously. You'd have to agree that it is somewhat unacceptable to have someone working on your team that you would not rehire if given the opportunity to do it again. So it's not acceptable to stay that way, so you have to look at your options. And the options are the 3 T's. If the answer is no, I would not rehire this person, then you look at your 3 options. You train them, you transfer them, or you terminate them. And you look at them in that order. Okay, let's start with the first T, train. Well, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, if they're not performing well, have I done my job? Have I trained them? And training is more than just training. Have I set clear expectations? Have I given them feedback? Have I given them the tools they need? Have I held them accountable? My goodness, if I haven't done those things with this person, there's no sense in getting rid of them and bringing somebody new in and subjecting them to the same type of abuse. And so we always want to start with that first option. Have I done my job? If you realize that, you know what, I really haven't spent much time with this person, haven't given them the tools or whatever, go back and do your job, all right? Now, that would be the quickest, easiest, most pleasant fix. But let's say the answer to that is no, training is not an issue. You say, Dave, I've trained this guy to death, I've invested in him, I've sent him to classes, he's still not cutting it. Well, you move to the second option, which are transfers. Now, you have to be careful with transfers, because sometimes we kid ourselves and we use transfers as an excuse to move somebody around endlessly trying to find their niche in life, all right? And we let them inflict themselves on multiple departments in the process. Now, on the other hand, very often you have a good person, they're just doing the wrong job for their skill set, all right? It's just not their thing. They have a good attitude, good character, good work ethic. There comes a time you've got to stop trying to fix the person and fix the casting error, get them sitting in the right seat. And so be honest with yourself. Again, don't just transfer them to prolong the inevitable because you don't have the courage to do the right thing and maybe remove them. But if you realize this person is miscast, they are misemployed, they're in the wrong role, then let's put them in a role where they can better use their skills, their gifts, and let's see if we can save them and add value to the company. So let's see where we're at. Knowing what I now know about this person, if they applied for the job today, would I hire him? No, I would not. Will training make a difference? Nope, he's been trained to death. Any transfers available? Can't think of anywhere I'd want him. All right, what have you got left? Terminating. And it's never easy, it's never pleasant, but it is necessary in a growing organization. And if you know you've done your job and you've set clear expectations and you've given them honest feedback and you've held them accountable, it should not be a surprise to have to terminate.